Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we're looking at a fun Eastern Conference matchup. In this one, we got the 76ers taking on the Celtics at home. The red hot Celtics, best net rating in the league over a long period of recent history. So we'll take a look at some of the best bets and player props in this one. Nate does have his great article up as well on playpicks.com with some best bets and player props in there for you. And make sure to like and subscribe to that page and check out those other couple videos we have up for you today, including that player props video. We'll look to climb above 500 after going 500 to open the week last night. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's get into it.
Bro, this keeps climbing in favor of the Celtics, and I'm sure the 76ers have that live ticker up in their locker room for bulletin board material. The Sixers, just to tease what we're talking about here, are 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 as underdogs and 8-2 straight up. So I think the more value you get there, the better you should feel taking the home team. We'll circle back, though. There's 6 other games here on a nice Tuesday night slate. Mavericks are plus 3.5 at the Heat, total of just 208 there. The Cavs are -1 at the Hawks with a total around 220. We do break that game down for you in a separate video. Grizzlies -4.5 at the Pelicans, who are on a back-to-back. Pacers plus 13 at the Bucks, who just lost to Portland last night. And the Hornets plus 6 at the Wolves with a total of 245 there. Clippers are plus 13 at the Suns after beating the Warriors last night. Look, yeah, the Sixers, when you doubt them, they come through. I mean, most recently beating the Grizzlies, who were red hot, had that same kind of league-leading net rating without Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey, a big reason for that. He had 33 points in that game. Tobias Harris, also 27 points. And those were the guys, actually, that were responsible for handing the C's a loss, 16 games ago before they started this red hot streak where they're the best net rating. They lost 111-99 in Philly. They tried to compensate against Embiid, who's obviously killing them, 32 points per game, nearly 15 free throw attempts per game. His last 6 meetings with Boston, Philly has won 5 of those 6. And they compensated by doubling him. Embiid got 6 assists, probably got a lot more hockey assists, as Maxey and Harris and Seth Curry killed them off the ball, slashing, cutting. But Maxey and Harris, obviously with Seth Curry gone, are the guys you want to focus on in that regard, because they had 40 points on nearly 50% field goal shooting. Now, with Seth Curry gone, Furkan Korkmaz is going to have to step into that role as the three-point guy for the Sixers. He definitely has not been as efficient, but he's a little bit of a better matchup defensively with that length against the Celtics. And now you will see more Matisse Thybulle, which is another key matchup in this recent rivalry. His last 4 facing Jason Tatum held him under 20 points per game, held him to a 96 offensive rating. And that's the key split for the Celtics here, is in wins, Tatum has an offensive rating of 114.5. In losses, his offensive rating is 99. So if he's not cooking, then the Celtics are not winning. There is some fool's gold here in this last 8-game win streak. I mean, the numbers are fantastic. The competition has been less so. They started to show some cracks in the armor. They're giving up 60 points to Denver at home last Friday, and then they rallied back behind that home crowd to get the win, but they haven't played much on the road against good teams. They did lose in Atlanta on the front end of a back-to-back. They lost in Philly before that on the front end of a back-to-back. For what it's worth, they've lost 5 straight on the front leg of a back-to-back, and they play again tomorrow night. The Celtics have been going steady under with an incredible defense, allowing just 95 points per game in these last 8. Both these teams are first and second in 3-point defense in that span. So something you might want to look at is who scores more down low, who's more reliable down low. And I don't really have to parse the numbers too much to know that when you have Joel Embiid, you can score more down low. But yes, they're 24th in percentage of points off threes are the Sixers in that span, whereas the Celtics are 14th. And the Sixers scoring 6th most points down low versus Boston 16th. So that is why I am leaning the Sixers, who are at home. They've won 8 of their last 11 at home. And yeah, they've covered 7 straight against the Celtics in the regular season here. They have their number.
Yeah, I mean, they have their number, especially in Philly. You talk about them covering in all of those last 7 against the C's and then winning their last 6 at the Wells Fargo Center. So I think, to your point, really for me, this starts with who can score in the one area that these teams allow other teams to score, and it's not the Celtics, right? It's God bless Time Lord, or the Time Lord, or however I'm supposed to say it, Robert Williams. He's going to be a staple, I think, in Boston for a while. They made sure he was not tradable at any point in time, and obviously all of the silly Jaylen Brown getting traded rumors were just hearsay as well. And I really actually like what the Celtics have done at the trade line. I do like getting rid of Schroeder and honestly adding Derek White. I think that does open things up a bit for them, but still, when you've got the defense on the wing that Philly has right now, that's huge for them, because not only that, it obviously allows Joel to not have to creep too far out and can really stay home as much as he needs to be that guy down low. Obviously, we know what their defensive presence is when he's in the lineup, and the difference that he makes there as well. But I think, it's going to come down to low post offense for Philadelphia versus a lack thereof for Boston's defense, as they know that's the only way that they can score. Joel does bring it. You also look at what he does, similar to how we like to eye Giannis in those big marquee matchups, where he's going to be bringing it and inserting his will, as those are probably the 2 most physically gifted guys in the league right now, at least strength-wise, with the inability for anybody to stop them once they get into the paint. You look where Embiid is scoring a ton of his points this season. It's really impressive, as he was shooting about 3.5 threes last season. He's ticked that down a bit to under 2, and he's shooting, he's scoring, I believe, 82% of his points from at least inside 15 feet. He's added a nice little a shimmy jumper as well for turning around from both sides and fading, which is, if a 7'3" guy is going to be fading away, obviously he's not getting blocked. So you got to feel good about that. One thing I do like as well, Matisse Thybulle, as we talk about him playing defense tonight, he's had decent numbers against the Celtics. He's hit a 3 against the Celtics in 3 of his last 4 matchups. His 3-point mark tonight, his prop there is at half a 3. So if he makes 1, you're getting about minus 130 on your money on FanDuel. I do like that, because I also think you look at the minutes that he plays against Boston, as if when Tatum's on the floor, Thybulle's on the floor, and so I think you consider his minutes at about 33 a game when he's playing against the Celtics over his last 4 as well. Is a guy to eye, just because he's going to be on the floor so much. There's got to be somebody. He's ripe to be able to at least hit a 3, as we know Seth Curry not in there. Their offensive rating does go down about 2 percentage points per 100 this season when they do not have Seth Curry, which they obviously won't the rest of the season. They'll have to figure something else out. But I think all in all, nothing to really mention here about the total. These teams have fluctuated a bit, as they've played each other. And Philly at home is not the same reliable team that just sort of shuts everybody down, however they want on defense, the way they did the last couple of seasons. So there's not much there for me. But I think I would love, especially when the Celtics fan is being honest with himself, like you are, and saying this is not a matchup I feel great about. I would follow you on that 100%, especially just Embiid inserting his will tonight. I think that's what we're saying. 30 plus and a win, whatever you'd like. I think those are the numbers we're looking for tonight.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Celtics streak here is complete fool's gold. I am just saying that I believe in the 76ers. I believe in Tyrese Maxey. I mean, that he was passed up in the draft by way too many teams, and he's proving it time and time again. You talk about being untouchable for Rob Williams. The Sixers were unwilling to unload Ben Simmons with Tyrese Maxey, because he is basically that future at the point guard position and a great fit along Embiid. I love his prop. It's at 16.5 points. Again, he's averaging way over that. His last 20 games, he's averaging nearly 18. If he gets 18 in a win, that's plus 290. I would look at things like that in terms of how to juke this money line. And I agree with you. I'm not taking the total either way. These teams have been going under, especially the Celtics, under an 11 of their last 14. But the total is too low for me to bank on that under, especially with the way the Sixers have been able to score when they get on a roll with Maxey and Harris, again, playing off Embiid. But yeah, I'm taking Philly. I don't think the Celtics are a team to be trusted yet. You look at the Sixers, they have stumbled a little in their last 5, but most of those losses out of conference, and then there's 2 to Washington, which just has their number.
Yeah.
But they have their antennae up when they face the Celtics, and I don't think we're going to see them slip. I think they've been very good in these high-profile Eastern Conference matchups lately, and that will continue.
Yep. No, I'm 100% with you. I think it's about the marquee matchup tonight as well, as we talk about very often, and especially with Joel Embiid tonight. So we're fully aligned there on how to bet this one tonight. Sixers, love Embiid and also love Maxey as well. I love that plus 290 for him to score 18 in a W. You got to think that if they're winning, the second and third scores behind Embiid for them tonight will definitely be Maxey and Harris. Tobias, quick shout out. I've been trashing him too often this season. He's actually picked it up as well in those last 10 games. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page, and check out those other couple videos we have for you today as we look to stay super hot with our player props. And until we see you next, happy betting.